The richest man in the world was crying. Mr. Harrison sat beside his daughter's bed, holding her small, cold hand. Outside the window, his mansion stretched across the hills like a kingdom. He owned towers that touched the clouds. He owned ships that crossed oceans. He owned more money than anyone could count in a lifetime. But none of it mattered now, because his daughter, Lily, was dying. She lay on silk pillows, her chest rising and falling in tiny, weak breaths. Her skin looked like paper. Her lips were pale as winter snow. The machines around her bed beeped softly, counting down the moments she had left. 3 days. That's what the doctors had said this morning. 3 days, and then his little girl would be gone forever. Mr. Harrison had spent the last 6 months fighting. He'd flown in the best doctors from every country. He'd paid millions for treatments and medicines. He'd built a hospital wing just for Lily, filled with the newest machines and the smartest nurses. Nothing worked. The sickness in Lily's blood was stronger than anything science could fight. It ate away at her, day by day, hour by hour. And now, time was running out. "Daddy." Lily's voice was barely a whisper. Mr. Harrison leaned closer, his heart breaking. "Yes, sweetheart." "Will it hurt?" she asked. Her brown eyes looked up at him, full of trust. "When I go to sleep forever, will it hurt?" Tears rolled down Mr. Harrison's cheeks. He couldn't answer. His throat was too tight. Instead, he kissed her forehead and whispered, "I won't let you go. I promise." But even as he said it, he knew the truth. All his money, all his power, it meant nothing. Death didn't care about bank accounts. The mansion felt like a tomb that night. Rain hammered against the windows. Thunder shook the walls. The servants walked on silent feet through the hallways, their faces sad. Everyone knew. The little girl upstairs, the one with the bright laugh and the kind heart, was slipping away. Mr. Harrison sat in his office, staring at nothing. On his desk sat files and folders, reports from every hospital, every specialist, every healer he could find. All of them said the same thing. Impossible, incurable, terminal. He wanted to scream. He wanted to punch the walls. Instead, he just sat there, empty and broken. A knock came at the door. "What?" Mr. Harrison's voice was harsh. The head of security, Marcus, stepped inside. He looked uncomfortable. "Sir, there's someone at the front gate." "I don't want visitors," Mr. Harrison said. "Send them away." "Sir, it's a boy. A street boy. He's soaking wet from the rain, and he won't leave. He says—" Marcus hesitated. "He says he can save Miss Lily." Mr. Harrison's head snapped up. "What?" "He keeps saying he has medicine. He's been standing out there for an hour, begging us to let him in." For a moment, hope flickered in Mr. Harrison's chest. Then reality crashed back down. A street boy? With medicine? It was probably a scam. Some poor kid trying to trick money out of a desperate father. "Tell him to go away," Mr. Harrison said, his voice flat. Marcus nodded and left. But 5 minutes later, he was back. "Sir, he won't leave. He's crying now. He says his mother told him to come here. That Miss Lily needs what he has. He says—" Marcus paused. "He says miracles don't come from hospitals. They come from faith." Something in those words hit Mr. Harrison like lightning. Faith. He'd tried everything else. Science had failed. Money had failed. Logic had failed. What did he have to lose? "Bring him to me," Mr. Harrison said quietly. The boy who stood in Mr. Harrison's office looked about 10 years old. His clothes were torn and muddy. His feet were bare. Rain dripped from his black hair onto the expensive carpet. But his eyes were bright and clear like stars. In his hands, he held a tiny glass bottle. Inside, something glowed with a soft, golden light. "Who are you?" Mr. Harrison asked. "My name doesn't matter, sir," the boy said. His voice was steady, unafraid. "I came because your daughter needs help." "And you think you can help her?" "Doctors from around the world have tried. They all failed." The boy looked down at the bottle in his hands. "My mother was sick once, sir. Very sick. Doctors said she would die. But she didn't. A man came to our village with this." He held up the bottle. One drop on her tongue, and she lived. Before she died years later, from old age, happy and peaceful, she gave this to me. She said, "When you find someone who needs a miracle, give them this. Don't ask for money. Don't ask for thanks. Just give them hope." Mr. Harrison stared at the bottle. It looked like water, but it glowed. Softly, impossibly. "What is it?" he whispered. "I don't know," the boy admitted. "My mother called it faith in a bottle. She said it works only for those who believe, those who trust what they cannot see." "That's ridiculous," Mr. Harrison said, but his voice shook. There's no science in that. No proof." "No," the boy agreed. "No proof, only hope." The two of them stood in silence. Outside, thunder rumbled. Rain beat against the windows. And upstairs, in a bed of silk and gold, a little girl was dying. Mr. Harrison thought about the doctors, the machines, the medicines that had all failed. Then he thought about his daughter's question. "Will it hurt, Daddy?" He looked at the boy, really looked at him, at his bare feet and torn clothes, at his eyes that held no greed, no lies, only a strange, steady kindness. "If this is a trick..." Mr. Harrison began. "It's not," the boy said simply. "I'm just a messenger. The miracle isn't mine. It belongs to anyone brave enough to believe." Mr. Harrison's hands trembled. His mind screamed that this was madness. Street boys didn't carry miracles. Glowing bottles weren't real. Science was real. Logic was real. But love? Love was real too. And a father's love could make him believe in the impossible. "Come with me," Mr. Harrison said. Together, they walked through the silent mansion, up the marble stairs, down the long hallway. The boy's wet feet left prints on the floor. The bottle in his hands glowed brighter with each step. They reached Lily's room. Mr. Harrison opened the door. The machines beeped. Lily lay still, her breathing so shallow it barely moved her chest. She looked like an angel already, halfway between this world and the next. The boy walked to her bedside. He looked down at her with eyes full of sadness and hope. "Do you believe, sir?" the boy asked, turning to Mr. Harrison. It was the hardest question anyone had ever asked him. Mr. Harrison looked at his daughter, his precious Lily, his reason for living. "Yes," he whispered. "I believe." The boy nodded. Carefully, gently, he opened the tiny bottle. The golden light spilled out, filling the room with warmth. It smelled like rain and flowers and something else, something that had no name but felt like love. The boy lifted the bottle over Lily's pale lips. "One drop," he whispered, "just one drop of faith." And he let it fall. The drop fell in slow motion. Mr. Harrison held his breath. The world seemed to stop. Even the machine stopped beeping for one impossible moment. The golden liquid touched Lily's lips. Then nothing. Lily didn't move. Her chest barely rose and fell. The machine started beeping again, the same weak rhythm as before. Mr. Harrison's heart sank like a stone in deep water. "It didn't work," he said. His voice cracked. Anger rushed through him, hot and fierce. He'd let himself hope. He believed. And now his daughter was still dying, and he'd wasted precious time on a street boy with a bottle of false promises. "You lied to me," Mr. Harrison shouted, grabbing the boy's shoulder. "You said this would save her. You said..." "I said it works for those who believe," the boy interrupted calmly. His eyes weren't afraid. They were sad. "But belief isn't just saying words, sir. It's trusting even when you can't see, even when it looks like nothing happened. Get out!" Mr. Harrison roared. "Guards, get this boy out of my house." 2 security guards rushed into the room. They grabbed the boy's arms. But before they could drag him away, something happened. The machines started beeping faster. Everyone froze. Beep, beep, beep. The rhythm was different now. Stronger, more alive. Mr. Harrison spun toward his daughter. Lily's chest was rising higher. Her breathing was deeper. And her lips, her pale, colorless lips, were starting to turn pink. "Wait," Mr. Harrison whispered. "Wait." He rushed to Lily's bedside, his hands shaking. He touched her forehead. It was warm. Before, she'd been cold as ice. Now, warmth was spreading through her like sunrise. The doctor, who'd been sleeping in the corner, woke up with a start. He looked at the machines and his eyes went wide. Her heartbeat, he gasped. It's getting stronger. That's impossible. Another doctor said, running into the room. The blood tests this morning showed. Look at her, the first doctor shouted, pointing at the monitors. Her oxygen levels are rising. Her blood pressure is stabilizing. Mr. Harrison fell to his knees beside the bed, tears streaming down his face. Lily? Baby? Can you hear me? For a long moment, nothing happened. Then, slowly, like a flower opening to the sun, Lily's eyes fluttered open. Daddy, she whispered. Her voice was weak, but it was there. It was real. I'm here, sweetheart, Mr. Harrison sobbed, clutching her small hand. I'm here. Lily smiled, a tiny, tired smile. Then her eyes drifted to the boy standing by the door, still held by the guards. Who's that? She asked. Mr. Harrison turned. The boy was watching quietly, a gentle smile on his face. No pride, no satisfaction, just quiet joy. He's... Mr. Harrison didn't know what to say. He's the one who saved you. Let him go, Lily said softly. He looked scared. Mr. Harrison nodded quickly to the guards. They released the boy immediately. The boy walked forward, his bare feet silent on the floor. He looked at Lily with kind eyes. Hello, he said simply. Hello, Lily replied. Thank you. You're welcome, the boy said. Then he turned to leave. Wait. Mr. Harrison jumped up. Don't go. Please. I want to. Words tumbled over each other. I'm sorry I yelled at you. I'm sorry I didn't trust you. You saved my daughter's life. You saved everything. Let me pay you. Let me give you anything you want. A house, money, education. Name it and it's yours. The boy shook his head. I don't want payment, sir. Then what do you want? Mr. Harrison asked desperately. There must be something. The boy thought for a moment. Then he said, tell people what happened here. Tell them that miracles are real. Tell them that they don't come from money or power. They come from love, from believing, from caring about each other. But who are you? Mr. Harrison pressed. What's your name? Where do you live? I want to thank you properly. I want the world to know who you are. The boy smiled sadly. My name doesn't matter. I'm nobody special. Just a boy who delivered a gift. The real miracle isn't in the bottle, sir. It's in you. You loved your daughter enough to believe when everything told you not to. That's the real magic. Before Mr. Harrison could respond, the boy turned and walked toward the door. Wait! Lily called out, her voice stronger now. Will I see you again? The boy paused at the doorway. He looked back at her and smiled. Maybe. Miracles have a way of happening when you least expect them. And then he was gone. Mr. Harrison ran after him, out into the hallway, down the stairs. But when he reached the front door, the boy had vanished. The rain had stopped. The night was clear and filled with stars. The guards searched everywhere. The mansion, the gardens, the gates. But the boy was nowhere to be found. It was as if he'd never existed at all, except for one thing. On the table in Lily's room, the tiny glass bottle sat empty. But even empty, it still glowed with that soft, golden light. By morning, Lily was sitting up in bed. The doctors couldn't explain it. They ran test after test. Her blood was clean. The sickness that had been eating her alive was gone. Completely gone. As if it had never existed. It's impossible, one doctor kept saying. Médicalement impossible. But Mr. Harrison didn't care about possible or impossible anymore. His daughter was alive. She was laughing. She was asking for breakfast. That was all that mattered. News of the miracle spread fast. People came from everywhere, wanting to know what happened. Reporters, scientists, other parents with sick children, desperate for the same miracle. Mr. Harrison told them the truth. He told them about the street boy, the glowing bottle, The single drop that changed everything. Some people believed him. Others called him crazy. But Mr. Harrison didn't care about that either. He'd learned something that night, something more valuable than all his money and power combined. He'd learned that the greatest things in life can't be bought. They can't be controlled. They can only be received with an open heart and humble faith. Weeks passed. Lily grew stronger every day. She walked in the gardens. She played with her toys. She laughed so loud it filled the whole mansion with joy. But she never forgot the boy who saved her. "I wish I could thank him," she told her father one evening as they watched the sunset together. Mr. Harrison hugged her close. "Maybe we can," he said. "Maybe we can thank him by doing what he asked, by showing the world that miracles happen through love and kindness." "How?" Lily asked. Mr. Harrison thought about it. Then he smiled. "I'm going to build a hospital," he said. "A big one, but not like other hospitals. This one will be free. Any child who is sick can come, no matter if they have money or not. We'll have the best doctors, the best medicines, the best care, and we'll never turn anyone away." Lily's eyes lit up. "Really, really," Mr. Harrison promised. "And we'll name it Hope Hospital, because that boy taught us that hope never dies." Lily threw her arms around her father's neck. "He'd like that." "I think he would," Mr. Harrison agreed. But there was one more thing he wanted to do. In front of the hospital, once it was built, he would place a statue of a barefoot boy holding a bottle of light. No name, no title, just a reminder that miracles walk among us, often in the form of the humble and the forgotten. A reminder that the greatest power in the world isn't wealth, it's kindness. And sometimes when you believe in the impossible believes in you right back. 10 years passed. Lily stood in front of a huge building made of glass and light. Above the entrance, golden letters spelled out, Hope Hospital. She was 20 years old now, tall and strong, with her father's determined eyes and her mother's kind smile. The sickness that almost took her life was nothing but a distant memory. But she remembered everything about that rainy night. The golden drop, the boy with bare feet and bright eyes, the moment her heart decided to beat again. Today was a special day. Hundreds of people gathered in front of the hospital. Reporters, families, children who'd been healed in these halls. They all came to celebrate the hospital's 10th anniversary. But they also came to see something else. "Are you ready, sweetheart?" Mr. Harrison asked, standing beside his daughter. His hair was gray now, but his eyes sparkled with pride. Lily nodded. "I've been ready for 10 years. Together, they pulled a white sheet off a statue that stood in the hospital garden. Everyone gasped. The statue was bronze and beautiful. It showed a young boy, maybe 10 years old, with bare feet and torn clothes. In his hands, he held a small bottle that seemed to glow even though it was made of metal. His face looked kind and gentle, wise beyond his years. At the base of the statue, words were carved in stone. "To the boy who taught us that miracles begin with love. Though we never knew your name, we will never forget your gift. You showed us that hope never dies." The crowd clapped and cheered. Many people cried, because everyone here had a story. Everyone here had been touched by hope. Lily stepped forward to speak. Her voice was clear and strong. 10 years ago, I was dying, she said. Doctors gave me 3 days to live. My father had all the money in the world, but it couldn't save me. Then, on a rainy night, a boy came to our gate. A street boy with nothing but a bottle and a promise. She paused, looking at the statue. He gave me more than medicine. He gave my father faith. He taught us that the most powerful things in life can't be bought. Love, belief, kindness. These are the real miracles. The crowd listened in complete silence. This hospital has treated over 50,000 children, Lily continued. Rich kids, poor kids, kids in the streets, and kids from mansions. We've never asked for payment. We've never turned anyone away. Because that's what the boy taught us. That every life matters. That every child deserves hope. More applause filled the air. Mr. Harrison stepped forward. His voice shook with emotion. I spent my whole life building an empire, he said. I thought Power and money made me strong. But I was wrong. On the night my daughter almost died, I learned the truth. Real strength comes from believing when everything tells you not to. Real wealth is measured in the lives you touch, not the gold you hoard. He looked at the statue of the boy. Wherever you are, thank you. Thank you for showing a fool like me what really matters. This hospital is our way of saying we listened, we learned, and we're passing on the gift you gave us. After the ceremony, Lily walked through the hospital halls. Children played in colorful rooms. Nurses sang songs with patients. Doctors treated everyone with love and care, just like the hospital's name promised, with hope. Lily stopped by a window and looked out at the garden. The statue of the boy stood peacefully among the flowers. You think he's watching? A voice asked behind her. Lily turned. It was her father. I know he is, Lily said with a smile. I feel it. Sometimes, late at night when I'm working here, I swear I see someone walk in the halls. A boy with kind eyes. He never stays long enough for me to be sure, but I think it's him, checking on us, making sure we're keeping our promise. Mr. Harrison smiled. You sound like you believe in angels now. Maybe I do, Lily said. Or maybe I believe that ordinary people can do extraordinary things when they choose love over fear. Her father hugged her. I'm proud of you, sweetheart. You've taken what that boy gave us and made it bigger than I ever imagined. You run this hospital like a dream. It's not just me, Lily said. It's everyone who works here. Everyone who believes that healing isn't just about medicine. It's about caring, about seeing people as more than their sickness or their bank accounts. That night, as Lily locked up her office, she heard something. Singing, soft and sweet like a lullaby. She followed the sound to one of the children's rooms. Inside, a little boy lay in bed, his mother sitting beside him. The boy was sick, very sick, but he was smiling. Why is he smiling? Lily asked the nurse. A visitor came earlier, the nurse said. A young man, maybe a teenager. He sat with the boy for hours, telling him stories. Stories about hope and courage. Before he left, he gave the boy something. What? Lily asked. The nurse held up a small stone, smooth and ordinary. This, he told the boy it was magic, that as long as he believed, the stone would protect him. Lily's heart skipped a beat. What did this visitor look like? Thin, dark hair, wearing old clothes. But his eyes... The nurse smiled. His eyes were the kindest I've ever seen. Lily ran out of the room. She searched the hospital, the parking lot, the gardens, but the mysterious visitor was gone. All she found was a single set of footprints in the dirt near the statue. Barefoot prints. She stood there in the moonlight, looking at the bronze boy with his glowing bottle. Thank you, she whispered. Thank you for never forgetting us. The wind blew gently, warm, and soft. And for just a moment, Lily could have sworn she heard a voice on that wind. Miracles happen when you believe. Keep believing, Lily. Keep spreading hope. Years continued to pass. Hope Hospital grew bigger. They opened branches in other cities, other countries. Millions of children received free care. Thousands of lives were saved. And everywhere the hospital went, they brought the story of the barefoot boy. The boy who proved that wealth isn't measured in gold. The boy who showed that miracles walk among us, wearing the faces of the forgotten. The boy who taught the world that love is the greatest medicine of all. Some people said he was an angel. Others said he was a saint. Some said he was just a kind stranger at the right place at the right time. But Lily knew the truth. He was all of those things, and none of them. He was proof that when you open your heart to hope, impossible things become possible. When you choose to believe, magic finds you. And most importantly, he taught them that the real miracle wasn't in the bottle. It was in the choice to trust, to love, to care for others even when the world tells you not to. That lesson lived on. In every child who was healed. In every family who found hope when they'd lost it. In every doctor and nurse who chose compassion over profit. The barefoot boy's legacy was eternal. And somewhere out there in the world, on rainy nights when hope seems lost, some say you can still see him, A boy with kind eyes and a glowing bottle, walking the streets, looking for the next person who needs a miracle. Because hope never dies. Love never fails. And miracles? Miracles happen every day to those brave enough to believe. If this story touched your heart and made you believe in miracles again, please like this story to spread the hope. Share it with someone who needs to remember that kindness can change the world. And subscribe so you never miss more inspiring stories that prove love is the greatest power of all. Let's build a community of believers together. What would you do if a mysterious stranger offered you a miracle? Tell us in the comments below.